Hello, busy people. It's a beautiful day here in Lusaka City, and you are tuned in to Life on the Go, the show that brings you small talk on life's big issues. My name is Revolver, and I am your host. You know what? Scratch that. It is not a beautiful day here in Lusaka City. It is very hot. Very, very hot, just like today's topic. Today we're going to be addressing a very, very touchy subject. And no, I do not mean massages. Although that would be nice, but no, I mean the other kind of touchy, in that today's topic has a history of being explosive. It brings with it a lot of controversy. It's divisive. We're going to be addressing the question, can you be Christian and feminist? Can you be Christian and feminist? And as is our custom on this show, we're going to try and look at the issue from a biblical and historical point of view. So without further ado, join me on the other side as we try to unravel this. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So, can you be Christian and feminist? For the sake of this discussion, we're going to take it for granted that we all know what a Christian is, and that those who do affirm this faith do take the Bible as God's final authority on any issue, just like we're going to do for this particular discussion, which leaves us with the other part of the question. Being feminist, what is feminism? Well, there are a number of definitions out there, I must admit. There are plenty, but it is clear that on the surface, feminism is a range of social and political movements and ideologies with the goal to define or redefine and establish political, personal, and social equality of the sexes. Well, that's a mouthful. But yes, on the surface, that is what feminism is. And for those who have a different definition, feel free to hit me up. You can find me on Facebook, William Mutola Joseph Jr., or at Mr. Revolver on Twitter and Instagram. But for now, I think that's a working definition that we're going to have. And some of these forms of feminism are liberal feminism, radical feminism, Marxist feminism, cultural feminism, and ecofeminism, with liberal and radical feminism being the ones that stand out, because ideologically speaking, all of these other forms of feminism can be condensed into these two. So number one, liberal feminism. This is a brand of feminism that focuses on overcoming social constraints and argues that women deserve equality because they have the same capabilities as men. And some people within the church, the universal church that is, have chosen to side with this particular brand of feminism, or at least it's the one they prefer, because on the other hand we have what we call radical feminism, and this brand seeks to challenge anything that reeks of patriarchy, and its main goal is to transform gender relationships, to transform institutions of society, and to increase women's sexual and procreative determination. It is the proud sponsor of My Body, My Right campaigns and the abortionist movement. So those are the main two types that we're going to focus on. So now, on the surface, these are not so bad, aren't they? especially if you're a liberal feminist. I mean, if you think about it. But a closer look will show us that both these philosophies stem from a secular worldview. That not only do they want to see the issues as purely social and cultural, they completely exclude the spiritual aspects and refuse to address the problem of sin. They do not even consider it as part of the arguments of what the problem is. And the main differences between the two would be that, radical feminists seek the complete overthrow of the patriarchy in the name of equity, while the liberal feminists advocate equality due to the nature of their beliefs in men and women having equal capabilities. And for those who don't know, the difference between equity and equality is giving the same opportunities to two parties, giving them the same opportunities, irrespective of what they previously had or have, while equity gives more opportunity to the person that had less and less to the person who had more, so as to put them on the same level. For example, the most common example that people are given is if two people are trying to look over a wall and one of them is tall and one of them is short. So if you give them both stools of the same length, that is equality. You're giving them the same stool to use to look over the fence, while equity would take a much taller stool and give it to the short person, so that when both of them are looking over the wall, they can look in the same manner, the same amount. But looking at these issues, what does the Bible have to say about feminism? So we're gonna the text we're gonna focus on today is we're gonna look at 1 Corinthians chapter 11. So I'm gonna read from verse 3, 4, and then I'm gonna skip to verse 7 and up to 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I want you to realize that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is man, and the head of Christ is God. So basically here we're being told of the order, the hierarchy, and this is the context of this is in the home and in the church. We should keep that in mind, that this context is more especially for the home and the church. And then skipping to verse 7, a man ought not to cover his head, since he is the image and glory of God, but woman is the glory of man. For man did not come from woman, but woman from man. Neither was man created for woman, but woman from man. Okay, so now this particular passage of scripture tells us that while men and women have equal intrinsic value, their roles are not equal. The roles are complementary, with God having chosen to bestow the privilege of leadership in the home and the church on the man. So to challenge this particular design is a blatant disregard for God's design. It would be similar to us questioning, why did he choose Israel and not Egypt? Why did he choose to come in the time that he did rather than pick any other time? Because he is God. God is in the heavens and he does whatever he pleases. So ours is just to obey. But does this mean that the Bible is patriarchal? By God's design, yes, it does. But does that mean that it's discriminatory against women? Well, not at all. Because from 1 Corinthians 11, we see that both men and women are dependent on each other. Man comes from woman, and woman was made from man. And then when you go down further down in the text, it shows us that the two have equal value in the eyes of God. So the Bible is not in any way discriminatory against women. It is just that God, by his own wisdom and his design, has chosen to bestow the role of leadership in the home and in the church on the man. Okay? But for those who want to argue that this is discriminatory against women, look at the Gospels. In the Gospels, we see that women were the first to witness the resurrection of Christ. And at the time, the testimony of a woman was not even admissible in court. It was worthless. But Christ decided to show himself first to the women who would bear witness. And the resurrection itself is the very foundation of the Christian faith. So why would it be entrusted to women whose testimony is worthless? That means that God himself has put a particular value on this sex. And the other instance is the one with the Samaritan woman, where after having a conversation with Christ, he does mandate her with going forth into the village and telling everybody about her encounter with him. So it's just that some of the arguments that have been used by feminists to get their agendas are what have put the movement at odds with the church or with the scriptures, because it puts them in a position where they have to either reject God's design or throw away the authority of God altogether by rejecting the entire Bible. And some of the other problems that have come, especially for me, the main problem with feminism today is that when you look at the first wave of feminism, that starting from the mid 1800s all the way up to the 1920s, the first wave had a definite goal, which was the suffrage movement, to win voting rights for women. And then the second wave for which happened in the 70s was to win equality and in the workplace. Equal amount of work deserve equal amount of pay, and they need equal opportunities. But today we have the third wave, which has no clear goal. They seek to transform the thinking of people, I guess, but it's not a tangible goal. It's not easy. It's a problem of sin. If people are looking at women as less or being objectified, it's a problem of sin. For the Christian, it's a problem of sin, because the redeemed Christian is taught by the Spirit, by the Scriptures, to respect women and to revere them, because we treat the younger women as sisters and the older women as mothers. That's what Scripture commands us to do. So what is the solution to the rape culture that these feminists will try to smear on all men? It is preaching the gospel. When we preach the gospel, we are addressing the problem at its root. It's the root core of the problem. That's what we are addressing. So, till next time, you have been listening to Revolver on Life on the Go. See you next time.